here we begin with the first class for residential status. But before that, yesterday in single class, the concept, the MCQs, the question answer, everything we have completed for agricultural income. So is that clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. You were able to work out one homework problem number 6, how to work out the steps. And can
Yes,
someone say what is the biggest alert sign you have to remember while solving the step method problem for agricultural income?
You shouldn't calculate cess.
Very good. Thank you so much. So calculate the tax on agricultural income and non-agricultural income together without cess. Step number 1. Step number 2 is what? Agricultural income and basic exemption without cess. 1 minus 2 is your tax payable, and in that minus rebate, add surcharge, add cess and duty. Okay? Right. Chalo. Now I'm starting not directly with the heads of income, but with residential status. Residential status, let me tell you the weightage of this chapter in 50 marks, compulsory without choice is 6 marks. With choice, 8 to 10 marks. Now, how? Residential status is the beginning of the question. So many times they will ask you, okay, so and so person, he's in India and this is his income. So deciding the residential status will help you to decide which income should be taxable in India. So like if I am a permanent resident of India, world income should be taxable in India. Even if I'm taking online classes for some students in Canada, whatever income I'm getting, whether I'm going to Canada and giving guest lectures or I'm taking it online, all the world income will be taxable because I am a resident, an ordinary resident or permanent resident. Suppose I am an NRI. हम सुनते हैं ना हमारे पास, this is like the peak season. November, December, this is the peak season when NRIs come to India. So these NRIs, when they come to India, whatever they earn in India, you have to pay the tax. Can NRI say, oh, I'm playing in IPL match? What is that player's name? Breeze Gay. ऐसे ज़्यादा cricket नहीं मालूम, पर जो मालूम है. So some player is saying, I've come and played a match in IPL, but I'm going to pay tax in my home country. Okay, but you have earned in India, you have to pay tax in India. Now that non-resident cricket player, he's coming to India, earning in India, he's also playing a match in Korea. So on his other world income also, should he pay the tax? No, because he's a non-resident. So this is like the first step before we dive into the heads of income. 5 heads are there. We will study it thoroughly. They are very interesting. But before that, today's classes, okay, let me check. So we'll apply some conditions and we'll check. Oh, are you resident? Then this income taxable. Oh, you are a non-resident? Don't worry. So today's class, coming half an hour, it will be clear how to decide the residential status. But the purpose of learning the chapter is clear. The purpose of deciding the residential status is taxability. Okay, ma'am, last year I was resident in financial year 23-24. Whole year I was in India and I was resident. Done and dusted, done. I'm always resident. Chalega kya? No. Every financial year you have to check the residential status. It may so happen 23-24, 365 days I was in India, and 24-25 only 35 days I am in India. मैं इंडिया से बाहर ही हूँ. So depending upon the number of days of stay, we have to decide the residential status of individual. Immediate question in your mind will be, ma'am, how do we decide the residential status of HUF, firm, LLP, AOP? All the kind of the person have to pay tax in India. So how do we decide residential status for all? So it's like push aside everything. That is 20% of the chapter. रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस ऑफ ऑल द एसएससीज और वो कल करेंगे, आज पढ़ना ही नहीं है. टुडे 80% of this weightage of this chapter is decide the residential status of individual and how much tax they should pay in India. That's the core thing. 80% chances of getting this question, separate question or combined. For CMA students, this come as a separate 7 marks question fix. For CA students, either 7 marks question or case scenario. Now, some of you may be, ma'am, case scenario kya hai? Case scenario is question and answer. But in question and answer, they give you question and whole 7 marks question you have to solve. In case scenario, they will give the question and every bit answer they will ask. Jaise school days mein unseen passage, they ke one bit question or they will ask like that. Don't worry, we'll practice lot of case scenarios and MCQs when the whole portion is over. So now coming 15 minutes, nothing to write or check in your textbook, but हम सीधा notebook में लिखेंगे. In exam, you can't write directly. Yeah, Dipti ma'am taught, I know the condition. He is a resident, Amitabh Bachchan is a non-resident, Chidambaram is a resident, हो गया. ऐसे नहीं होता. You have to write the conditions to get the marks. So for good writing practice, directly we are starting with our notebook and we are writing all the details. Okay. 1 second, dear students. Chalo. Open your notebooks and write the details about residential status. Okay. Right. Heading. Residential status. We will decide residential status for which year? Can anyone say? For which year we will decide?
Immediately preceding financial year.
For?
Immediately preceding financial year.
Yeah. For the financial year, not the preceding financial year. We will decide it for the previous year or the financial year 24-25. Aja. Now, we are deciding now residential status of individual. Okay. All the conditions are given in section 6.6. Sorry, 6.6 to baad mein aayega. Pehle 6.1. So, an individual. Write down, please. All of you have to write like this. Individual should satisfy. I'm giving एकदम basic से all the stats. जब हम problem करेंगे तो you link up this knowledge and apply and solve it. Individual should satisfy any one of the basic conditions. Individual should satisfy any one of the basic conditions to be resident in India. What's the first condition? He. I'm writing he. It could be he, she, anyone. He should be in India. He should be in India for 182 days or more in financial year. So what is our financial year? 24-25. The year when he's earning the income, 24-25. In this year, he should be in India for 182 days or more. Okay. And a big or. Underline it. Or he should be in India for 60 days or more. 60 days or more in financial year 24-25 and 60 days or more in financial year 24-25 and 365 days or more in 4 preceding previous years. In 4 preceding previous year. Any trouble in writing?
No, mom.
Great. Thank you for the response. So what I made you right now, I will explain. Okay. Our financial year is 24-25. So this financial year, count the days. Now counting the days is like this. Have you done average due date? 31 days, 28 days, 30 days. Ye yaad rakhna hai. But don't worry. I hope now like we are together for more than 4-5 days, तो समझ में आ गया होगा. You call it spoon feeding or what? Right from the scratch, everything I'll tell you. Understand the concept, apply it, learn how to present your answer and how to read the question. ये सब आज के क्लास में समझ में आएगा आपको. So when you count the days, you have to properly count how many 182 days. So in the financial year, is the individual there in India for 182 days or more? Yeah, you are resident. Okay. You are just there in India for 60 days or more, say 84 days. And the preceding 4 years, we call it as PPY. PP is not Pani Puri. PP is preceding previous year. Preceding 4 years. Are you in India for more than 365 days? Ma'am, but in the 4 years, he came, he went, he came, he went. Chalega. Mila ke total 365 days you are in India in the preceding 4 years. And this year you are there for 60 days or more, you're said to be resident. Acha, the day you come India, it could be morning 10 o'clock, it could be evening 4 o'clock, that day is counted. The day you leave India, bye-bye, that day is counted. So be careful while counting the days, and how to count the days is really most interesting part here. Aja. When I say preceding 4 years, how do we go by? It will be 23, 24, 22, 21, 20, 21, and 2019 and 20. 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22. No, I missed something. 23, 24, 22, 23. एक ईयर मैंने मिस किया. 21, 22, reverse we go. And 2021. Are you getting? So 20, year ending 21, 22, 23, 24. 4 PPYs. Are you in India for 365 days and a big or? Ma'am, this or this, anyone they can satisfy? Yes. They are said to be what? Resident. Okay? हाँ. लिखो नीचे. Both conditions satisfied. Both conditions satisfied. मतलब इधर के इधर ही हैं. Last 4 years also 365 days. This year also 365 days. So both conditions satisfied or one condition satisfied. Or one condition satisfied. What he will be? Resident. None condition satisfied. You are just there in India for 34 days. You came, you visited Agra, Taj Mahal, Meenakshi, Madurai temple, and you went off. Ho gaya khatam. So none of the conditions satisfied. Then who are you? Non-resident. Any one of the conditions satisfied or both satisfied, then who are you? Resident. Tell me, is the basic condition clear to all of you? Now, एक लाइन छोड़ के लिखो. Additional conditions. Additional conditions. Applicable for resident individual. You know, this is like that treasure and oh, you came from A to B, now go from B to C. Oh, you came to C, now go to D, like that. So now with any one of the basic conditions, are you resident? Aa jao. Let us check additional conditions given in section 6, clause A. First one. He should be resident, not present. He should be resident in India in 2 out of 10 PPYs. Out of 10 preceding previous years, any 2 years, he should be resident in India. Any 2 years. out of the past 10 years ending on March 24. So you can write here like 2014 say 24, 10 साल. Any 2 years you should be resident. And a big and, both conditions should be satisfied. He should be in India for 730 days or more. Some of you feel this way of learning little tough, as if ma'am aap to pura theory padha rahe hain. This chapter is 100% practical but application based. So once you take the efforts to write it, you learn it, and then when you apply it, you get 7 out of 7 marks. तो पूरा एंड तक करो तो क्लियर हो जाएगा. Last, he should be in India for 730 days or more in 7 PPYs. 7 preceding previous years, you should be in India for 730 days or more. And out of the last 10 years, any 2 years, you should be resident. If both the additional conditions are satisfied, yeah, both, and one basic condition and both additional condition. One basic condition and both additional conditions are satisfied. Person is said to be ROR. Ma'am, what's the full form of ROR? Resident and ordinary resident. Resident and ordinary resident. Okay. Basic condition satisfied. And additional condition, one or none. Additional condition, even if one is satisfied, washed out, koi fayda nahi hai. Additional condition, both should be satisfied. So this time basic condition, any one of the basic condition is satisfied. Additional condition, one or none satisfied. You are resident to ho. Ma'am, why you are resident? Because you are satisfying any one of the basic condition. Then why you are not ordinary resident? Because you are not satisfying both the additional conditions. You are said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. And third one is basic condition not satisfied. Bye-bye. What is bye-bye? You are a non-resident. Once this status is decided, we will tax the income. But take your time, coming 1 hour, इतना ही करना है, इसी के problems work out करने हैं. Then we'll go to the next part. Yeah. Now time for your doubts. पूछो.
मैम ये बेसिक कंडीशन है ना कि प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर में काउंट होता है क्या 182 डेज या फिर इन करंट ईयर?
Basic condition both are in the financial year 24-25. I'll repeat. 182 days or more, current year. 60 days or more, current year. So basic condition both में current year is important. But if you check the additional conditions, out of the last 10 years, any 2 years, I should be resident. Out of the last 7 years, any 730 days, I should be in India. So the additional conditions are preceding previous years. Basic conditions are current year. Have I answered correctly or something else you were asking?
That's what I asked.
ठीक है. और एग्जाम्पल के साथ मैंने जो years लिखा है वो भी लिखो तो आपको क्लियर होगा कि हाउ टू चेक ऑल द कंडीशंस. आ जाओ. Now let us open our material and let us start with the residential status and some good questions. Residential status is immediately after the basic chapter only. And please see that in every chapter I've given the compiler बनाने में बहुत मेहनत की है. मतलब concept है, notes हैं, question answers हैं, and then past exam questions. See, like if you come to the end of the chapter, all these are past exam questions. अलग से ही दे दिया है. Maybe some of them may be having ये सब old RTPs, MTPs, actual question paper from 2021. The best of the questions all are printed in this book, compiler. आ जाओ. Only for individual we are taking all the efforts today. And it's like, इतना easy and interesting. समझ में आ जाएगा आपको. Total income of SSC cannot be determined unless you know the residential status. If you're non-resident, only part of your income is taxable. So like that. Residential status has to be determined for every person every year. यहाँ लिखो, ये MCQ में पूछते हैं. पहले true and false में they were asking, now true and false are not there in your syllabus. So you know how they ask in MCQ? Residential status is to be decided every year or last year or every 4 years and what? Every year. Because the days you're present in India, it will change, no, every year. Yeah. The onus of responsibility to prove the residential status is on SSC. Wow. Who has the highest power in the house? Can anyone quickly say? किसके पास घर में सबसे ज्यादा पावर रहता है? मम्मी. मम्मी. Okay, घर में, because she is the queen of the house, she takes care. And otherwise, who will take the major decision? Papa. So mummy or papa, because they take the highest responsibility also, right or not? That's why they have the power. Like that here, you know, I'll tell you so many cases that this is also an actual case came in Economic Times. A person he came for his work. He was an NRI. He was supposed to leave from Delhi airport on 188th day. 180 days he was in India. He did his work and he wanted to go abroad. Okay. So 180 days पे उसकी flight थी. So that person is a non-resident because he came for the first time. So 60 days, 365 days, that was not the case. Only 180 days he was in India and he was supposed to board the flight. But the day he reached airport, there was heavy fog and some seasonal issues and all the flights in Delhi were cancelled. Now, if they have reached the airport and flight is cancelled because of the airport ka jo bhi authority and responsibility they will take, these people were given accommodation in the airport hotel for 2 days and the weather condition improved and then he left India. The day he left India, it was his 183rd day. 183 days ho gaye. You are resident and ordinary resident. World income, you have to pay the tax. Who gave this notice? Department. So the line I was reading was onus of proving that no, I am a resident. No, I am a non-resident lies on the SSC. SSC has to prove. It's not that department will say, no, you are resident. मैं proof करके बताता. Department will to give you straight notice. It's the responsibility of SSC to prove that he's in India, he's out of India and all. Right? Okay. So in this case, what do you think? Who is right? If he's there in 183 days in India, did he become resident and should he pay the tax on world income? कौन जीता? AO is assessing officer. कल ही मैंने गोलमाल मूवी देखी. अब AO, so the person who could not speak, we are not talking about it. It's like AO, assessing officer. So assessing officer will win or the SSC will win? Tell me. What do you think? AO is saying you are a resident and ordinary resident. R and O are world income, you have to pay tax in India. SSC saying no, I am a non-resident. I'll pay tax only on, I have come for some technological consultant to Hyderabad and I'm going back, bye-bye. I will pay the tax only on Indian income. Bolo. Who will win? अरे धक्का ही मार लो. हाँ? SSC. Why? See, you have cleared the foundation, dear students. That's why you are sitting in this room and it's not easy. Foundation का portion भी passed हो गया. तो knock you got entry. अब क्या करना है? Knowledge के साथ every day Your self-analytical skill also you should develop. That will help you to outperform in the professional exam. So that's why I'm trying to develop the analytical skill कि खुद के निकालना है. आप लोग ऐसे शाइन हो जाएंगे डायमंड्स के जैसे 2 महीने में. क्या डीटी क्या आईडीटी we will do super. That's a 100% support from my side. Good. You're right that SSC will win, but I want you to justify your logic.
Isn't it genuine? It was not in his hand to stay in India for 2 more days, right? He was leaving on 180th day, but it was the fault of like the weather conditions and the airport
आप
authority.
लॉ भी कर लो, हो जाएगा आपसे. 1 second. I'm enjoying. You all are arguing beautifully, so it's really nice, and that's exactly the correct answer. This was a case, it came in Economic Times long back, and the SSC said the same thing. I can prove I have ticket, I can prove I stayed in airport hotel. I never had the intention to stay in India, exceed 182 days and all. And he won the case and he had to pay tax. Exactly what you said. Appreciate it. Good. So, like this, are you getting one thing what I read now? Every line what I have written in my material now is having some meaning. Otherwise, कुछ भी मैं आपको extra नहीं पढ़ाऊंगी और ना ही लिखाऊंगी. हाँ, this is just for the sake of printing. कभी तो एक बार पढ़ लेना. No. So now read it. I hope you got clear. Next time anyone is talking about residential status, you will be clear that onus of responsibility lies with whom? SSC. When you write like this, no MCQ, you become little more alert. Okay, if they ask, I'll be able to answer. Chalo. Residential status. SSC can be resident or non-resident. Only individual and HUF can be resident and ordinary resident. Resident and ordinary resident यहाँ लिखो ROR. Resident but not ordinary resident. Resident and but not ordinary resident RNOR. Residential status has got nothing to do with citizenship. I am a citizen of India. My parents, grandparents are born in undivided India. I am of Indian origin. No, blah, blah, nothing doing. Attendance. Are you in India? An Indian citizen can be non-resident and a foreign citizen can be resident. You are a foreign citizen. You are a citizen of USA, but you can be resident if number of days in India exceeds. Residential status is always determined for previous year because whatever we have earned in that year, we have to pay the tax. Now, I am calling it previous year because this is the language of income tax. Frankly speaking, it's like your current year. How many of you know about DTC? Any idea? That next year direct tax code is coming. कभी सुना है इसके बारे में?
No.
The whole income tax is revamping. You don't bother. It's going to be applicable from 26. So there the first plan of the finance minister is to remove this term called as previous year because actually it's our current year na. हम current year में 1 second हम current year का whatever income and all we are paying the tax. चलो. Residential status of individual is fulfilled when he satisfies any one of the basic condition. Now I'm trying to make you learn this. अभी इसको याद करो बेटा. समझने का काम हो गया. And then apply and solve question. He must be physically present in India for 182 days or more in the previous year. I want all of you to write here 24-25. लिखने से to sink it, ink it. The more you ink it, the more you sink it. लिखो 24-25. He must be in India for 60 days or more and 365 days or more in the immediately preceding previous years. The day on which he enters India as well as the day on which he leaves India shall be taken into account as the stay of individual in India. This I already told. Okay? Right. Exception to rule I will tell you. To be resident and ordinary resident, he must satisfy any one of the basic condition and both the additional conditions. Now, what are additional conditions? He must be in India 2 out of 10 years. He should be resident in India in the immediately preceding 10 years. He must be in India for 730 days or more in the 7 years. Okay? Right. Now, resident but not ordinary resident. He must satisfy any one of the basic condition, or he does not satisfy any one of the basic additional condition and all, then he will be resident but not ordinary resident. If he satisfies any one of the basic conditions, he is resident. Does not satisfy both the additional conditions, he is a resident but not ordinary. मैंने different तरीकों से आपको लिखाऊंगी. If you check my any earlier revision video on YouTube, you'll feel ma'am that was different. ऐसे कोई एक ही ऐसे ही पढ़ना है ऐसा नहीं. There are many ways. When the person can be non-resident, when a person does not satisfy basic condition, you know, non-resident. Okay? Same thing with example I have written. Now this part you can read at home. You want me to read or clear? I have given you the example, Abhijo. You want me to read it or is it clear? ठीक है, आप खुद से पढ़ो. The screen is on for you. You will read it from here to you. I'm waiting.
We received the.
नहीं I didn't get it बेटा. क्या कभी कभी ना वॉइस एको हो रही. क्या पूछा आपने? Little louder please.
We received the sheets. Now we have started underlining what you just mentioned.
Okay. चलो. Then I will read it for you once again. चलो साथ में पढ़ेंगे. आ जाओ स्क्रीन से. What is our financial year 24-25? Ma'am, am I a resident or a non-resident? He should be in India for 182 days in 24-25, or he should be in India for 60 days in 24-25 this year, and 365 days or more in the 4 preceding years. पूरे year गड़बड़ है. 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24. ठीक है? 1 minute. I'm trying my best not to have any printing mistakes. Still, if it is there, please give me 2 minutes time. I'll also note down so that we can do the picture. हाँ, आ जाओ. Okay. Person is in, individual is in India for 182 days or more, or 60 days or more, and 365 days in the 4 years. Additional condition. He should be resident in India in 2 out of the 10 preceding previous years. So what are the preceding previous year? 13, 14 to 23, 24. Last 10 years, any 2 years he should be resident. And ये and को ऐसे block में डालो. Additional condition, both should be satisfied. Basic condition, any one should be satisfied. You can write, जितना makeup करोगे उतनी clarity आएगी. Any one. Here, both. This is current year. This is PP wise. Preceding 10 years or preceding 7 years. See. Now again, one more time. Individual. Resident. Any one of the basic conditions satisfied. Aajo. First door crossed. First door crossed. Basic condition satisfied. Resident. Now, both additional conditions satisfied. Resident and ordinary. Basic condition satisfied. But additional condition, either one satisfied or none satisfied, then resident, but not ordinary resident. None of the basic conditions satisfied, then non-resident. Chalo, let us work out problems for this. There are more conditions, and please note down. अभी जाके note down करो. कहाँ गया वो concept? ये आपके एग्जाम में पक्का आएगा. एक ये और किधर गया? डीम्ड रेसिडेंट. Coming May 25 exam, these two are the hot topics. Residential status, you can make out a trend how they are asking. पर उसके लिए basic पढ़ना है. So nothing doing. Read problem number 1 with me. Solve it fully with me. साथ में solve करते हैं इसको. Mr. Blair, a British national, comes to India for first time. Okay, right. During 1920, during the financial year 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, ये सब year में he was in India for these many days. है ना? ठीक है. Determine the residential status for this year. Mr. Blair's residential status you have to decide for 24-25. So last 24-25 he is in India for how many days? 70 days. Okay. So how to solve? Reading the problem is clear. I'm waiting. समझा बेटा problem read किया. अब इसका data pick up करके we will solve it in the notebook. Don't see what is the answer, please. That's just a support. With our normal colored pen, we will just solve the. इसको solve करते हैं. आ जाओ. Problem number 1. How your answer should start? Because you have to determine the residential status of Mr. Blair, you have to write the basic condition. Basic conditions. To determine, you have to write like this, huh? This is answer. Basic conditions to determine residential status of Mr. Blair for the financial year 24-25. I've literally seen students doing just rough calculation करते हैं और conclusion लिखते हैं and then they say why I'm not getting 5 out of 5 marks. And CMA students 7 marks question, you have to write this condition. Basic condition to determine residential status. Number 1. He should be, गाने की तरह गाना है तो गा भी लो. He should be in India for how many days? I want the answer. 182 days or more. Thank you. The more you say, the more you write with clarity, you are learning. He should be in India for 60 days. Arey, I missed out writing or. Or likhna hai beta. 60 days or more in the previous year and 365 days or more in 4 PPYs preceding previous year. You write this much, you get 2 marks irrespective. Ma'am, Mr. Blair non-resident था, मैंने गलती से resident लिखा. Even if your answer goes wrong, if you have written this, you will surely get 2 marks for steps. Aja. Now you have to do the counting. In the previous year 24-25, he was in India for how many days? Last year. Are you able to pick up the correct figure? 24-25 में 70 days. 70 days he was in India. 24-25. अब इसके पहले के 4 years. Write down like this. 20-21, 21-22, 22-23, 23-24, 55-60, 80 and 160 and total. Correct. Are you all with me? I'm going very slow. फिर भी if you feel, ma'am, please wait, say. Mr. Blair, he is not in India for 182 days or more. So he is not satisfying the first basic condition. He is in India for 60 days or more. But in the second basic condition, it's not one person. उसका छोटा भाई हाथ पकड़ के साथ में आ रहा है. उसका नाम है 365 days. in the 4 years. So in the last 4 years, he's there only for 355 days. Tell me, is Mr. Blair satisfying any one of the basic condition? Yes or no? I think some of you are confused. देखो यहाँ देखो मेरे साथ में देखो 182 days. Yeah, any doubt is there, beta?
No, mom.
Okay, then listen carefully. In the financial year 24-25, 182 days or more, are you in India? He was just there for 70 days. This basic condition, first, not satisfied. Basic condition, or one more option is there. Are you in India for 60 days or more? Yeah, I'm there for 70 days. But with this, preceding 4 years, 365 days or more, are you in India? No. So second basic condition में in depth 2 conditions are there. Current financial year 60 days or more. Preceding 4 years 365 days. Sorry, preceding 4 years you are in India only for 355 days. So Mr. Blair, is he satisfying any of the basic condition or not? Yes or no answer you give.
No.
No. He's not satisfying the basic condition only. So what he will be?
Non-resident.
Non-resident. And now the immediate question, should I go for additional condition? No, it's a treasurant. See, we look at the screen. I started the treasurant here. You juggle and you say, okay, resident or non-resident. वहां पहुंचो तो वहां से आगे जाओगे ना. Here only you are a non-resident. Out. Clean bold. So now no point in checking the additional conditions and writing. I literally feel bad when I correct the papers, 5 marks residential status question is going in 1.5 page. Because students know it as एकदम clear आता है उसको residential status. तो वो ना पूरा लिखते हैं. आपको वैल्यूअर को नहीं पढ़ाना है ना. I know your knowledge is good. Score marks, smartly get exemption. Say, I have got 85 marks in income tax, I have got 87 in income tax, move ahead. So to the point, writing the answer and completing DT and GST paper in 3 hours, that mindset has to be there every day. आ जाओ, इसको conclude करेंगे. We'll conclude it. Write down. Conclusion, you have to write in exam, underline it. Presentation exactly same I'm doing as we are doing it in the final exam. Mr. Blair is in India for 60 days in financial year 24-25, but not for 365 days in 4 PPYs. You can write in exam preceding previous year or PPYs. He is not satisfying first basic condition. He is not satisfying first basic condition. Hence, he is non-resident. Done. He is non-resident. हो गया. Clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, we'll work out some more problems where we can check the additional conditions. So this was all about problem 1. Why it has gone? ठीक है, से चलिए. Chalo. Now we'll check this. This also I want all of you to solve in the notebook. Don't check the answer now. Mr. Malaya, a Malaysian citizen. Now, ma'am, Malaysian citizen दे रहे हैं, Singapore citizen, ये क्या है? Of no use. We are checking residential status. He leaves India after a period of 10 years stay. 10 years tak 365 days he was in India. And in 1st June 2021, he left India for the first time. Right? Okay. During the financial year 20 to 23, he came to India for only 46 days. Later, he returns. 1 minute, dear students. मैंने बहुत चेक किए पर यहाँ कहीं कहीं डेट में गड़बड़ हो सकती है. हाँ. Later, he returns to India for good on 10th October 2024. Determine the residential status. So in our financial year 24-25 only, he came to India on which date? 10th October 2024. How many days he was in India for 23-24? Can you read the problem and tell me, please?
46 days.
Reading the problem is an art. I could make the language very easy and comfortable for all of you students. But this is how it is asked in exam. First of 10 years ke baad he went out of India in 21. Then in 20 to 23 he came to India only for 46 days. Then in 24. So I am asking you, in between one more financial year is there 23-24. तब कितने दिन था इंडिया में? Not able to answer, then read it. How many days he was in India for 23-24?
0.
Yeah. I want everyone to understand it. Interpret the question. देखो, this is like a movie review. हम review पढ़ रहे हैं. First 10 years you were in India. Now you are going in June 21. Again you are coming in 20 to 23 for 46 days. Again you are coming in October 24. So 23-24 you were not there in India. Ma'am, क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है? फर्क पड़ता है because we have to check the last 4 years, last 7 years, last 10 years. Yeah, right. So hope reading the problem is clear. Then now let us solve it in notebook. Ajo, problem number 2 in your notebook and with the पूरे उसके साथ. Problem number 2. Residential status of Mr. Malaya. Okay. नाम तो आपको बहुत अच्छे अच्छे मिलेंगे. मुझे ही नहीं मालूम मिस्टर ब्लेयर कौन है, मलया कौन है. टाइपिस्ट है जो सारे नाम लिखता है. चलो, रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस ऑफ मलया करते हैं हम. How will you start your answer? Basic condition. Ma'am, should we write it exactly same? Yes, please. Number 1. He should be in India for 182 days or more in financial year 24-25, or he should be in India for 60 days or more in 4 PPYs. Exactly copy paste. बिल्कुल मैं यहाँ से उठा के कॉपी कर सकती थी, मैंने फिर से लिखा, आप भी फिर से लिखो। ओ सॉरी, बाय मिस्टेक। हाँ वो तो एडिशनल कंडीशन है, और ही लिखना है। चलो, नाउ लेट अस काउंट फॉर मलया इन फाइनेंशियल ईयर 24-25. How many days he was in India? He came on 10th of October. October में how many days are there? Tuck the answer should come, otherwise I am not teaching. Now you all know or not? He came in India in October 24. Is your one hand on the question? Date is clear? This material is available in the Telegram and all also. If you want the whole print, le lena. October 24. So October 24 you came, and on which date you came? 10th. And shall we take the 10th also? Yeah. So how many days are there in October?
Yes.
हाँ, डेज काउंटिंग के लिए मुझे रिस्पॉन्स चाहिए, मैं नहीं करूंगी। कितने दिन है अक्टूबर में?
October में the days he stayed is 21.
Total how many days are there in October? 31. Like that I was expecting answer. How many days are there in October, ma'am? 31. अभी you will not know until थोड़े दिन और निकल जाएंगे. And he came on 10th. So can I say he stayed in India 21 days of October, right? आ जाओ, अब लिख लो. हाँ, आप लोग पहली बार पढ़ रहे हो तो आराम से करो, एक एक चीज क्लियर करके लिखो. अक्टूबर हाउ मेनी डेज? 21. नवंबर हाउ मेनी डेज? 30. गो ऑन राइटिंग.
Total 172 days, so it's not a
Yeah, he was there till March. So October how many days?
21.
21. November,
30.
December, January, 31. February, it's not a leap year, no? No. So 28. And March 31. These are many days Malaya was in India.
172, ma'am.
Okay. चलो लिख लो. 172 days. Come back to the problem. कभी कभी क्या हो जाता है, बच्चे क्या करते हैं कि कैलकुलेशन में इतना घुस जाते हैं कि कंडीशंस भूल जाएंगे. ऐसे नहीं करना है. We are checking. Is he in India for 182 days or more? No. Is he in India for 60 days or more? Yes. Now, let us check, but in 60 days के साथ we have to check the preceding 4 years. So 4 years कहाँ से कहाँ लेंगे आप? Where will you take the last 4 years from? Year ending 24 तक आपको लेना है. हाँ, तो you will start with 24 year ending, 23, 22, 21. So can we start like this? 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23 and 23, 24. 4 preceding previous years. है ना? 4 preceding previous years. Now check. He left India for the first time. I'm going little slow. Maybe some of you have followed, तो लग रहा होगा थोड़े ज्यादा slow है, पर वापस से बार-बार problem पढ़ो. He left India for the first time in June 21. June 21. इसका मतलब 2021, April 22, March 21, तो पूरे 365 days he was in India. And in 21-22, he left India on June 21. So 30 days of April, 31 days of May and June. Please message me if any one of you is struggling to calculate the days. And my confidence with all of you is you will not struggle if you are making efforts to read the question again and again. When is he leaving India? June 21. तो March 21 तो पूरे 365 days. फिर यहाँ 21-22 इतना. 22-23. He came to India and he was there in India only for 46 days. 23-24 nil. Did I ask you this question while reading? पूछा था ना आपको? Ma'am, why nil in 23-24? Because again he came back in October 24. So how many days he is in India? Total karo.
Resident, only resident.
Is it written 61? This should be 62 days, na?
It should be 62. You said the day you leave also is counted. So yeah.
Yeah, it should be 62. It's a mistake. That's why I'm saying don't trust anything printed. You do it with me. कभी कभी होता है बहुत सारा करे तो 473 days. Actually, that is not wrong. That's last year answer. होगा कुछ लीप ईयर है ऐसे कुछ तो होगा उसका. आ जाओ. तो 473 days. Now look at the question. मलय आपको एग्जाम में मैम इतना टाइम लगेगा तो कैसे करेंगे? यू सी योर ओन स्पीड टुमारो. यू विल ओरली से द आंसर. हाँ, is he in India for 182 days or more in the financial year? Right now 24-25 में कितने दिन था इंडिया में? 172 days. So Malaya is not satisfying the first basic condition. But is he in India for 60 days or more and 365 days or more in 24-25? Yes. Malaya is satisfying second basic condition. Hence, he is resident. कभी कभी क्या होता है पेपर छूट जाता है तो इतना किया और इतने कंडीशन लिखे तो यू विल गेट 4 out of 6 because yet we have to work out the additional conditions. Okay, have we cleared the first stage of the treasure hunt? Is he a resident or non-resident? Resident. So once he is resident, what should be my next step, dear students? If an individual is a resident, what should I check?
Additional condition.
Additional condition. But before I start the additional conditions together with you, anyone is having doubt in the basic condition? Yes or no? No doubt? No doubt, all of you?
No, ma'am.
हाँ चलो. तो additional conditions देखते हैं. Additional condition number 1. He should be resident in India in 2 out of 10 PPYs. Last 10 years में any 2 years he should be resident. So this one is satisfied. Here only you can write satisfied. As he left India, ये सब लिखना पड़ेगा. As he left India on 1st June 2021 for first time. Take your time. Last 10 years, 2014 to 24, you should be resident in India for 2 years. तो आप तो इंडिया से बाहर ही गए 21. What about 14 to 21? You were permanently in India. So you have satisfied this condition. 2 out of 10 years. Are you in India? Yes. Second. Okay. Now, and a big and. He should be in India for 730 days or more. He should be in India for 730 days or more. So, he should be in India for 730 days or more in 7 preceding previous year. तो 4 तो हमने लिखे थे, उसके पहले के और 3 लिखना पड़ेगा, year ending 20, 19 and 18. So obviously he's going to satisfy because 365 days he was in India only, no? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आप सबको?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So now either you can write and do the total, or he left India in June 21. So you can write here satisfied. Yeah, satisfied. Because last 7 years में तो he was in India only. 2 भी साल ले लो, 365 into 2. So 730 days is over. So he was very well in India. So either you can write all the 7 years, counting and all, or you can write, yes, 730 days is satisfied. Now, conclusion. Mr. Malaya is satisfying. Mr. Malaya is satisfying second basic condition. Mr. Malaya is satisfying second basic condition and both additional condition. And both additional condition. Second basic condition and both additional condition. Full stop. Hence, he is resident and ordinary resident. And underline this. How you go for some weddings nowadays or buffet dinners where it is written, do you have to see ye kaun sa vegetable hai? No, this is corn palak. Okay, this is paneer butter masala. Okay, this is dal makhni. The tagline is written. Like that in your answer sheet, basic condition, number of days, this should be underlined and clear. As soon as they see the question and they see कि हाँ इसने ठीक से conclude किया है, the mindset changes, you'll get good marks. Mr. Malaya is satisfying the second basic condition. 60 days he is in India and 365 days in the 4 years, and both the additional conditions. Hence, he is a resident and ordinary resident. Done. Then we'll go to some more interpretation. और फिर we will take a break. इसके बाद concept writing, understanding, reading the concept from book, second step. Third step is we have applied and we have solved 2 questions. Until now, everything is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo. Tomorrow also we are doing the same topic, but और करेंगे detail. So Malaya is clear. Kung Fu, we can just check it and you can do it as homework. Kung Fu is a citizen of has stayed in India for 150 days or more. So 182 days तो नहीं हो रहा है, but ये हो रहा है. You are informed that he stayed in India throughout the year 2021. ठीक है, 365. He stayed in his home country. What is his home country? Singapore. वहां से आया था इंडिया. 330 days. So how many days he was in India? In 21, 22, 35 days. 350 days he was there. So 15 days in 22, 23. Ma'am, what about 23, 24? Nil. Students don't digest this. Exam में ना ऐसे जगल करते, अरे कुछ तो दिन इंडिया में, अरे नहीं है 23, 24 में, छोड़ दो. नहीं कुछ प्रिंटिंग मिस्टेक हुआ है, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? Last year he was not there. He was not there in India. So he was there in India for 150 days or more in the financial year and for 15 days. So is he satisfying second basic condition? Yes. He is resident. Now additional condition. 2 out of 10 years he should be resident. And total only he is in India for 415 days. Before that, Kung Fu never came to India. So additional conditions, first you have to write in exam, and then he is not satisfying the additional conditions. Is he a resident in any 2 preceding previous year? No, only 1 year he was there for 365 days. उसके पहले तो 10 दिन 15 दिन, peanuts. Not satisfied. Oh, last 7 years, is he there for 730 days? No. Only for 415 days, gone. So he is satisfying basic condition, not additional condition. He is resident, but not ordinary resident. See, Mr. Blair was non-resident. Malaya is resident and ordinary resident. Sub varieties of problem cover ho gaya. And this question. But I want you to write it and do it in writing as homework to get the self confidence. अभी तो lot of backup में मेरा explanation चल रहा है ना आपके साथ. Exam में तो नहीं रहेगा, right? Okay. चलो. Now I'm going to exception to the rule. I'm going to the first page of the chapter where a person is said to be resident only if he is there in India for 182 days or more, which means second basic condition is not applicable. ये देखो, what was the first basic condition? 182 days or more you are in India, or 60 days or more and 360. Ma'am, most people take the benefit of second basic condition. I am taking exception to rule. 3 cases wherein second basic condition is not applicable. You are in India for 182 days or more, then only you are said to be resident. Second condition, we don't want to check. What are those exception to rule? First, when a person is going abroad for employment. Employment includes business also. So suppose you are working and you are going abroad. So you were there in India for 60 days or more and wo sab nahi lagega. I have sent you for my company's project to Singapore or Switzerland, और आप ना 3 साल से वहीं हैं, non-resident. You are following? So person who is going abroad for employment, check 182 days, 60 days करना ही नहीं है. इसको apply करके, for every concept we have quality good questions. So that will be very good. Second thing is, a person who is going out as a member of crew, ship. Now this comes in MCQ. You know how it happens? You all know what is a member of a crew or a ship. When the ship is boarding, it will have all master of ship and officer in charge and other staff to load the goods to help the passengers. है ना? So, and these all members of the crew, whenever they start the ship from India, they have a continuous discharge certificate or a register where they have to sign and say, okay, this is the day I'm leaving India. And when the ship comes back, okay, बड़े बड़े शिप तो शोर तक नहीं आते, वो पानी में ही रहते हैं, deep in the water. So from there छोटे शिप में बैठ के the day you land India as a member of a crew, you have to sign. Where you have to sign? That document is called as continuous discharge certificate. सब लिखा है आपके मटेरियल में, सुनो. So the day you are boarding the ship, the day you are coming back, these many days you are out of India. So if you are a member of a crew, sorry, 60 days condition not applicable for you. You are going out of employment, 60 days condition not applicable for you. Third one, which is hot favorite. आज पूरा समझ लो, कल मैं आपको 4-5 बार करा दूंगी, which is repeatedly asked in exam. The third one, a person who is staying abroad comes to visit India. 60 days is not applicable. Ma'am, all the guests to Hyderabad is to hub for NRIs. I always say, ये तो peak season है. They come in November, December, attend wedding functions, घूम के जाते हैं, सब करके, then 2 months में they January they are back. So for them, 60 days more you are in India. No. You are working abroad. Only have come to meet your friends and family and शादी के लिए आए. पर आप तो 60 days से ज्यादा है ना. ऐसे नहीं होता. If they are in India for 182 days or more, तभी. But there's a twist in the third condition. So now read it, apply it, and solve it. This was just an oral glance I have given. Ab padho. Second basic condition is not applicable. Isko underline karo. For Indian citizen during the relevant previous year who goes abroad for employment. Indian citizen who leaves India in the relevant previous year as a member of crew ship. Indian citizen or person of Indian origin who being outside India visits India during the relevant previous. Okay, so for all these three, ऐसे arrow mark करके आपके book में लिखो, second basic condition NA not applicable. Put an arrow mark like this. आप इसको क्या बोलते हैं पता नहीं. Put like this bracket and write down second basic condition not applicable. I want all of you to read this. According to Rule 126, whatever it is, Indian citizen being a citizen of India and a member of crew or a ship, the period of stay shall be in respect of eligible voyage, not included the period commencing from the date entered in continuous discharge certificate, in respect of joining the ship, and ending on the date entered in the continuous. So, you know, the day you enter India and the day you leave India, that's written in this document. और इसको arrow mark करके लिखो, MCQ में पूछते हैं कि how the attendance of a crew member is taken. Yeah. And whenever they go for eligible voyage, it is called as international travel. Huh? Otherwise, someone traveling by waterways from Kolkata to Varanasi to Vizag to Goa. No. That all is not what we are talking about. Okay. Third point, there's a twist. I want to take it very thoroughly with two good problems after the break. So 5 minutes break, check your watches, assemble back, and we'll continue with exception to rule. Are you all following residential status until now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once again, we are just in the residential status of today, individual today also, and maybe tomorrow whole class also. No problem. Going very slow once again and revising the conditions is, an individual is said to be resident in the financial year if he is in India for 182 days or more, or he is in India for 60 days or more, and 365 days in the preceding 4 years. Any one of the basic conditions satisfied, he is a resident. Once he is a resident, then check the additional conditions. Both should be satisfied to be resident and ordinary resident. First additional condition, in the last 10 years, 2 years he should be resident. And in the last 7 years, 730 days, he should be in India. Both additional conditions satisfied one basic condition, resident and ordinary resident. Basic condition satisfied any one. Additional none satisfied or one satisfied, resident but not ordinary resident. Basic condition only not satisfied is said to be non-resident. Once the residential status is decided, then we can decide, okay, you are a non-resident, this is taxable. Oh, you are a resident and ordinary resident, aa jao. World income is taxable for you. So now two exception to the rule are there, and there's also a concept of deemed resident, which we are going to discuss now. So dhyan se suno. 3 exceptions to the rule where second basic condition is not applicable. 182 days or more you are in India, resident. 60 days, 365 days, we don't want to check. What are those conditions? A person leaving India for employment, or a person leaving India as a member of crew, ship. And in the continuous discharge certificate, it's written that 200 days he was out of India. So how many days he is in India? 165. Is he in India for 182 days or more? No. Is he satisfying? Second देखना ही नहीं है हमको. So only first condition is applicable when a person is leaving India for employment, or a person is leaving India as a member of crew. ठीक है? Now, the third exception is also there, where this second basic condition is not applicable, but it is indirectly applicable with a twist. तो अब ये पढ़ते हैं third वाला condition. ये देखो. I hope you all have done this star mark because this is very important. For point 3, the period is reduced to 120 days in the previous year and 365 days in the 4 years preceding the previous year. If such person, okay, in the third one, an Indian citizen, person of Indian origin. Acha, Indian citizen to theek hai. What do you mean by person of Indian origin? Who himself or his parents or grandparents are born in undivided India. Who being outside India comes to visit India. First कौन था? Indian citizen who is going abroad for employment. Second, Indian citizen who leaves India as a member of crew. Third, Indian citizen who being outside India visits India during the relevant previous year. Okay. So for point 3, the period is reduced to 120 days in the previous year and 365 days in the 4 preceding previous year if he is having total income other than foreign sources. Now, other than foreign sources means total income in India. I want all of you to write. Ma'am, then you could have given easy language. You have to solve the problems at the back of study material also. हाँ, मैंने भी ली हूँ वहां से प्रॉब्लम इंपॉर्टेंट वन, बट वो तो करना है इसके साथ. तो लैंग्वेज आना चाहिए. 120 days or more in the previous year and 365 days. So second condition is applicable, but not with 60 days. ऐसे 60 लिख के क्रॉस करो. 120 days and 365 days or more in the 4 years if total income in India is exceeding 15 lakhs. See, a person is having total income in India above 15 lakhs is a huge amount. 10 lakh ke above 10 lakh, so it's 30% tax, right? So for this, how will you do? इसका interpretation हम यहाँ पे भी करेंगे. Exception to the rule. Again, exception to the rule where second basic condition is not applicable. That same one I have printed here. Person leaving India for employment, person leaving India as a member of crew, days will be counted as per continuous discharge certificate. And third, person who is of Indian origin, yeah, staying abroad, comes to visit India, less than 120 days he is in India, non-resident. 120 days to 181 days agar hai. See, if you are crossing 182 days and more, to first basic condition. But here we are saying कि अगर 182 days से कम है, तो there it was 60 days and 365 days in 4 years. Here it is 120 days to 181 days. Is your total income greater than 15 lakhs? Yes. Are you in India for more than 120 days and less than 181 days? Yes. 365 days or more in the 4 preceding previous year? Yes. Then you are said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. See, I am saying additional, I am saying, abhi I am in the second basic condition. तो resident and ordinary resident तक तो मैं पहुंची नहीं हूं. First basic condition, 182 days and more. Satisfied? Very well, you are a resident. Go ahead. Go to the second level. वो 2 years out of 10 years जाओ. हाँ, लेकिन less than 180 days. Okay. तब 60 days condition is not applicable for person leaving India for employment as a member of crew. Please keep patience when I apply this. It will be surely clear. कभी कभी लगता है थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो रहा है पर आ जाएगा. Or a person who is of Indian origin, staying abroad, coming to visit India, having total income more than 15 lakhs in India, he is in India not for 60 days, but for 120 days or more, or 181 days or more. He will be resident but not ordinary. Ma'am, why you are deciding? Abhi to you are just checking resident and non-resident. You're not going to additional conditions. So anyhow, this person is like third category. What's third category? Staying abroad, coming to India. Only 182 days wala applicable hai. फिर भी 120 to 181 days, this is add-on they have made. Provided your total income exceeds 15 lakhs, you will be resident, but not ordinary. The reason of giving this is, I want all of you to write here, don't check additional conditions. Karo hi mat, pre-declared. You are a person who is staying abroad, coming to India, less than 182 days, you are not satisfying the basic condition. Still, they are taking a chance. Oh, your total income is above 15 lakhs. Yeah. Are you there in India from 120? No. मतलब और थोड़ा सा stretch कर दिया उसको. So you will be resident, but not ordinary resident. Stop. Don't go to additional conditions. To make up this more clear, let us solve 2-3 problems. ये देखो. Mr. Beans. अच्छा. Some of you may be having doubt, but आप शायद पूछ भी नहीं रहे क्योंकि आपको आधा ही समझ में आ रहा है. I can make out that. Ma'am, I am in India for 131 days, but my total income is less than 15 lakhs. It's like 8 lakhs. What will be his status? I'm repeating. An individual is staying abroad, coming to visit India, staying in India for 131 days, but his total income is 8 lakhs. What will be his residential status? Can you answer?
Non-resident.
Non-resident. Superb, but I want everyone to answer. And others, if they are saying she was able to interpret, हम नहीं कर पाए, आप पूछो, सोचो. 131 days he was in India. Is he there in India for 182 days or more? No. But ma'am, you said no, there's a buffer 120 or 181 के बीच में. That's only for the people who are earning more than 15 lakhs in India. Government is very smart. They're saying, अरे आप ना, you are Indian citizen going abroad for employment. Jao. You are going abroad as a member of crew. Jao. Oh, you are staying abroad, coming to visit India. You're not there for more than 182 days, but your income is 18 lakhs in India. You should pay some tax, no? 18 lakhs is huge. That's the mindset that they shifted 60 days condition to 120 days and they applied it. I'm repeating, 182 days and more in India, resident. 182 days se come in India, non-resident. For all the 3 exceptions, employment, crew, person staying abroad, coming. Only that 120 and 180 days wala bridge is added for a person who is having total income in India more than 15 lakhs. Clear? Let us solve 2 problems and it will be crystal clear. The quality of problems, I assure you what we are doing, too good. Aajao. Mr. Beans is Indian citizen. ठीक है. Working in Canada. 23, 24, 24, 25. He visited India for 157 days and 165 days. Oh, 24, 25. How many days he is in India? 165. Is he satisfying first basic condition? No. And second basic condition is not applicable. Sorry. Because you are Indian citizen working abroad, coming to visit India. 60 days condition, not applicable. ठीक है. But let us see what is his income. Income from salary in Canada. उसको तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Now, income from property in Canada. Some rental income property in Canada. No problem. This is abroad income. Income from business in Canada. But it is controlled from India. Control and management means head and brains. आप 18 lakh rupees earn तो India से कर रहे हैं ना, right? Now for one thing I am helpless. I have picked up this question from past exam and this is having some ATC and some deductions. वो तो बहुत आगे हैं. मतलब एक चीज के लिए I want cooperation from your side provided you understand that when I am explaining here, there will be some touch-ups of those areas, deductions, business head जो हमने नहीं किया. So whatever is required for the other things, I will explain now because you need it. So don't worry. And when you read it second time, you can get. I'm literally telling you, You can give the feedback कि मैम you could have made it easier by directly giving the total income 15 लाख से कम है ना, छोड़ दो, 15 लाख से ज्यादा है ना, देख लो. But I gave one ATC deduction because you will do that in deduction. Right now, because ATC is a deduction from gross total income, directly we will take the total income interpretation. आ जाओ. Okay. Income from business in Canada. Controlled in India. Can I say this is income earned in India? Ma'am, but income business is in Canada. But it is controlled in India, no? Heads and brains, ye India ka income. And he has repaid some housing loan. So when you repay housing loan, you get ATC deduction 150. If you don't understand anything, you can leave it now without any moderation. Just say how much is total income in India? 16,50,000 over and out. And how many days he is present in India? हाँ, ये देखो, मिस्टर ब्रीन्स कितने दिन इंडिया में है? 165 days in 24-25. Yeah, he is resident and ordinary resident, but not ordinary resident. As in the current year, see, Mr. Beans working abroad, coming to India, he is there in India for 165 days. So he's not satisfying the first basic condition. Second basic condition applicable with a twist. The twist is he in India for more than 120 days? Yeah. And 365 days or more in the preceding 4 years, वो भी हम check कर लेंगे. Yes. And is he earning more than 15 lakhs? Yeah. He's earning 16,50,000. I'm doing orally. I'll make you write everything. But आप समझो ये बात को. अब preceding 4 years, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23. 120 days, 100 days, 155 days and 157 days. तो पिछले 4 साल में देखो, फर्स्ट कंडीशन, इंडियन पर्सन staying abroad, coming to visit India. Are you there for 182 days? No. First basic condition not satisfied. Second, are you there for 120 days or more? I want all of you to write this second part, but बाद में लिखना, पहले सुन लो. 120 days and more, are you there? Yes. 4 years, 365 days and more, है ना? 532 days. Yes. Total income in India greater than 15 lakhs. Yes. Then you are said to be resident. Abhi to only basic condition, resident and not, but government said, Income Tax Act said resident but not ordinary, over and out. There you dive into additional conditions. I know it is little offbeat knowledge added in the last year, and 80% of students, they do basic condition, additional condition, which I did before the break, and they go and write the exam. Residential status क्या पढ़ा? Basic condition addition. इसको छोड़ देते हैं क्योंकि ये थोड़ा tricky है, but इसको 2 बार लिखो, learn करो, then it's super easy. I want you all to stop, ask your doubts, and I want you to write this in whatever way you understand in the textbook. And then I'm going to notebook and solving more questions. Pucho. Doubt pucho. Is it all clear? Tell me, where is the confusion?
I am clear now. They're not answering.
No, others also. Please say. Please speak up for yourself. Are you like confused or not clear, या कहीं समझ रहे हैं, या ऐसा लग रहा है बहुत सारा orally चल रहा है? Tell me exactly. You want to write it in notebook? Conditions? लिखेंगे, बिल्कुल लिखेंगे. 2 मिनट रुको, इसको पहले conclude करते हैं. यहाँ आ जाओ, कहाँ थे हम? Okay. I have given 4 to 5 options in this problem. Like that, options don't come in the final exam. But I have given the options to, help you understand in different way. आ जाओ, कुछ लिखेंगे. Write it as your booster note. I want all of you to write it. सब लोग लिखेंगे, आराम से करो. And for coming 2 days more also, we are doing this only. So don't worry. You will understand. But of course, you're doing it for the first time. So understanding and applying and solving the questions will take time. Screen is jumping and jumping. Aja. Exception to rule where second basic condition 60 days in the financial year and 365 days in 4 PPYs NA not applicable. Yes, please. Exception to the rule where second basic condition is not applicable. Individual will be resident only if first basic condition satisfied. Individual will be resident if only first basic condition is satisfied. What is that? 182 days or more in financial year 24-25. Please don't copy without understanding. I'm going in chotu steps. पहले इतना बोलो, इतना clear है. I am teaching you exception to rule where 60 days condition not applicable. You are said to be resident only if you are in India for 182 days or more. Clear है यहाँ तक? Yes or no? चलो, first now. First one, write down. Person leaving India. You would have enjoyed these classes if I would have started with heads of income, house property, business head. इतना मजा आता है क्योंकि सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम ही प्रॉब्लम है, बट ये तो पढ़ना है, ये बेस लेवल नॉलेज. Person leaving India for employment, job purpose. Then for you, we will not check only 60 days and 365 days. Second, person leaving India as a member of crew, ship. Ship में जो काम करते हैं, they board the ship, they leave, they come back. Ma'am, half of the time the ship के crew members and master of the ship and all, they are to in the water only, international water. So are they out of India? Yeah. Person leaving India as member of crew. 182 days and more, so you are in India. Third, person of Indian origin or Indian citizen staying abroad. He's staying in Dubai, Singapore, abroad, and coming to visit India. घूमने, शादी के लिए, सोने, family को मिलने. For some reason, you stay outside India, employment outside India, and now you have come to visit India. Oh, you are in India for 182 days or more? अब इन तीनों को ब्रैकेट करके लिखो. Only resident if in India 182 days. ऐसे बार बार लिखने से लर्न होता है, और लर्न तो करना पड़ेगा ना, तो ही तो tomorrow's class. Today 3 to 4 problems, tomorrow 10 problems I'm going to do more in class. Only if you are in India for 182 days or more, applicable. चलें साथ में. Now, one more exception they added from financial year 23. Last year का amendment है. You know, you write it in question form, so you will ask the question, that will be clear. Are you Indian origin? Indian citizen नहीं हाँ? Person of Indian origin. Person of Indian origin. Yes. Are you in India? See, if he's in India for 182 days and more, naturally he is a resident. Are you in India for more than 120 days, less than 182 days? I hope you are getting why 182 days से ज्यादा इंडिया में तो वैसे ही रेसिडेंट है. बट आप इंडियन ओरिजिन के हो क्या? हाँ. More than 120 days and less than 120 days you are in India in the previous year 24-25? Yes. TI, total income in India, greater than 15 lakhs. Ma'am, how that Canada's income was India? Because that was controlled from India. And forget about ATC and all. Directly you can take, total income. Greater than 15 lakhs? Yes. Then you are resident. Oh, you are resident. But I am there less than 182 days, 160 days. But you have earned more than 15 lakhs now. And you are of Indian origin, na? Yes. Then you are resident, but not ordinary resident. There you check the additional conditions for these exceptions. करना ही नहीं है मुझे. अब बोलो क्या टफ है. Actually, this time I tried some trick. I don't know how many of you check. I keep changing the way I teach also. First I made you write and then we read. पहले वाला part. अभी मैंने पहले read किया, बाद में लिखाया, तो I feel you got confused. Now tell me, after writing this para, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. This is little louder voice. And I'll revise everything. Bar, don't worry. देखो. Are you there in India for more than 182 days? Yeah. Normally only you are a resident. Go for additional conditions. Oh, 182 days and more, less you are. Then exception to rule where 60 days condition is not applicable. For whom? Person who is going for employment abroad. Or person leaving India as a member of crew. Or person of Indian origin working abroad coming to India. Not Indian citizen. हाँ, ये वाला जो है ना, यहाँ दोनों है. यहाँ तो सिर्फ Indian origin ही है. Are you a person of Indian origin? Yeah. Are you in India for more than 120 days, even if less than 182 days? Yes. Are you having total income more than 15 lakhs? Yes. Then you are. This is something they have added on. Ma'am, in this, he is of Indian origin. He is there in India for 165 days. But he is having total income only 8 lakhs. No. Ma'am, he is having total income 25 lakhs. But he is in India only for 35 days. No. He सब आएगा ही नहीं. That's what is there in the problem. I want all of you to write a bold note. All three above conditions should be satisfied. I want all the yes. मुझे कुछ भी no नहीं चाहिए. मेरे को सब yes चाहिए. इतना मजा आएगा जब इसको अप्लाई करके पास्ट एग्जाम के क्वेश्चंस करेंगे कल. Tomorrow we'll do. If you feel this note is not clear, I want all of you to write like this. And second condition के बाद, and third condition, and ये मेरा तरीका है, दिमाग में फिट करना है. What is your trick? You apply. I to write and means all the conditions have to be satisfied. Now read that problem again. Mr. Beans is in India, Indian citizen, working in Canada, In 24-25, he was in India for 165 days. But in the preceding 4 years, 2021, 21, 22, 20, अब मैम ये इतना झिकझिक क्यों देते हैं? 3 साल यहाँ, 1 साल वहाँ and blah. Jig is only the way you should understand. So 2021, 21, 22, 23, 24, all the 4 years he was in India for 535 days. Is Mr. Bean's Indian citizen and Indian origin working abroad? Yes. Is he in India for more than 120 days? So 23, 24, how many days he was in India? 165 days. Yes. And 365 days or more in the preceding 4 years? Yes. And total income in India more than 15 lakhs? ये जो कंट्रोल्ड इन इंडिया वाला है ना, ये मैंने नहीं पढ़ाया अभी, इस पार्ट को ऐसे ही ले लो, कल करेंगे। और तो इंडियन इनकम 15 लाख से ऊपर, यस, ही इज सेड टू बी रेसिडेंट एंड ऑन द रेस्ट. Now these are all my own created options. Option 2, if in previous year stays more than 120 days. In the previous year, preceding 4 years, 365 days. But total income is only 2 lakhs. What will be the answer? He will be non-resident. Total income less than 15 lakhs, na? I don't want to go in this jol. 182 days or more you are in India, resident. No. You are in India only for 165 days. Preceding 4 years, 365 days. But total income not more than 15 lakhs. Sorry, you are non-resident. Aja. Option 3. In the previous year, 196 days. 4 years. Kuch nahi. First time you came to India. Total income 50,000. Ma'am, total income is only 50,000. Preceding 4 years he was not there. But current year, are you in India for 182 days or more? Yes. You are satisfying the first basic condition and not the second. Go ahead and check the additional conditions. Now take your time, read it, ask your doubts. Bolo. इतनी शांत क्लास नहीं चाहिए. बोलो. Each one of you should individually answer. I should take your name and ask. आपको समझा, मुझे नहीं याद हुआ अभी तक सबके नाम, तो आप बोल दो.
I don't have any words.
Yeah. अच्छा, anyone has some options in their mind?
No, man.
चलो, तो हम ना क्या करेंगे, कुछ और क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, उससे शायद और क्लियर हो जाएगा. These are one-liner questions for case scenarios and MCQs. Identify the residential status of following person. Doraemon, Indian citizen, leaving India for taking employment in Singapore. Indian citizen, leaving India for employment. Ma'am, second basic condition not applicable. Excuse me. First is applicable if he is in India for 182 days or more. So dekh lo, September, 15 September. So how many days I should take for September? He left in September, na? 2024. So April ke 30 days. Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. April से September 24. In 24-25, how many days you were in India? Ma'am, I left India on September. So April, 30 days you were in India. May 31, June 30, July 31, August 31, and the day you left India, 15, usko bhi lenge. Oh, you were in India for 168 days. Ma'am, वो झोलझोल देखें क्या? झोलझोल का नाम क्या है? Total income, have they given any information? No. Then don't check that 120 days concept. No. Are you in India for more than 182 days? No. Then thus, he's not satisfying the first basic condition and second basic condition is not applicable. Doraemon, you are a non-resident. अब समझ में आया या नहीं?
Yes.
चलो एक एक एग्जाम्पल करेंगे. Should I call out everyone's name or others also? All of you respond clear. I can now see you. I have closed the screen, so I want hands up. अरे hands up. हाँ, जिसको नहीं समझा वो हाथ नीचे रखना है. ऐसे मत डरो कि मैं 100 ग्राम डांट देंगे दीप्ति मैम. तो कभी नहीं डांटती हूँ, बट डांटती हूँ तो डांट खा लेना. 100 ग्राम, 200 ग्राम. आ जाओ. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन. Mihir, a person of Indian origin, settled in Australia, comes to visit India and he is there for 191. Arey ma'am, more than 182 days in India, he is a resident. Yeah, Mihir is satisfying the first basic condition. So he is a resident. But none of the additional conditions. Ma'am, आप पहुंचे ही नहीं additional condition. Last 10 years, 2 years, he should be resident. Last 7 years, 730 days. Why I'm not willing to check the additional conditions for Mihir? Mihir is satisfying basic condition. Yes or no?
Yes.
But we are not checking the additional conditions. I want you to answer. Why I'm not checking additional condition?
Because he comes to India for first time.
Yes, very correct answer. Common sense. Additional conditions 2 out of 10 PPYs, 730 days out of 7 PPYs is preceding year. ये तो पहली बार इंडिया आ रहा है. हार पहनाओ, तिलक लगाओ, ये तो पहली बार इंडिया आ रहा है. Only basic conditions. Additional conditions applicable ही नहीं है. तो who is Mr. Mihir? Resident and not ordinary. Don't write like this in exam. ऐसे ही लिखना है आपको. ये मैंने लिखा है. चलेगा. चलो. भिड़े, holding Indian passport, Indian citizen, Indian origin, जो भी है, staying in Canada since 2011, हमारे जमाने से, arrived in India on 14th November 23 last year and leaves India for Canada September 24. मैम नवंबर टू यहाँ देखूं क्या? नो, योर फाइनेंशियल ईयर स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 1st April 2024 to 22nd September 2024.
175 days.
Yeah, but I want all of you to interpret like this. And you all are going to become auditors. Audit का टिक ना ऐसे होता है. आप सबको ऐसे टिक 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 लगाना है इंटर्नशिप में. फिर सीए के लोगों में भी ये है. तो हम ना कभी भी टिक का साइन ये रखेंगे, है ना. अभी से आदत डाल देते हैं. बाद में ऑटोग्राफ भी देना है. सीए का सिग्नेचर इज सो वैल्यूएबल. आ जाओ. April, how many days you were in India? 30. May, June, July, August, and September, 175. Now, Bide, how many times did he come to India and all? Chodo. He is in India in the financial year for how many days? 175. Is he satisfying first basic condition? No. And second basic condition, is it applicable to Bide? 60 days and more. He's not satisfying the additional condition, and the first basic condition is not applicable to 182 days or more. Okay, right. So he went out of India for work, anything, staying abroad, and he arrives in India and he's there for 175 days. Ma'am, but 175 is above 120. Shall we go in that jhol jhol? No. When will you take entry in the jhol jhol in exam? When your total income exceeds 15 lakhs. तब भी आप उसमें जाओ. इंडियन ओरिजिन हो, हाँ. More than 120 days in India, हाँ हाँ 175 days. And are you having total income above 15 lakhs? Yeah. तब भी go in that. फिर से एक बार. भिड़े, current year you are in more than 182 days in India? No. You're a non-resident. हो गया. अब बोलो. How are the questions? Like you're clear, or you have some options in your mind and you want to work it out with me? नहीं, मैं तो देख रही हूँ. कुछ और पढ़ाती हूँ आपको. बहुत हो गया ये कॉन्सेप्ट. एक और बाकी है. ये लाइक इसको तो 5 स्टार किटकैट सब खिला दो. What I explained you now, 120 days, and this is mostly asked in CA exam. And there's a playlist where you can get all the past exams, MTP, RTP solved. And one more thing I want to say, for upcoming January 25, May 25, all RTPs, MTPs I'm always solving. So when you solve with me in the live class, the coming MTPs, RTPs for CMA, CA exam, you will apply and practice more automatically. Right now, you are not in the practice mode, you are in the learning mode. है ना? तो इसीलिए इसको ऐसे करना है. आ जाओ. Some more GK rules I am teaching you now for residential status question. Continuity is not required. Did I make it clear? You can come in the April, stay for 30 days, bye-bye. Then come in the October 31 days. We will take total number of days stay in a financial year. Continuous is not required. Indian origin means a person who himself or parents or grandparents are born in undivided India. Official tools in connection with employment shall not be taken as employment outside India. You know, I am working in Hyderabad only, but for some purchases, for some meetings, I go abroad, right? So it is that not that I am going outside for employment. Going outside for employment is like you're going and working in those countries. Okay? ठीक है. Residential status is determined for each category of person. Individual, HUF, AOP. अभी तो हम एक में ही अटके हुए हैं. अच्छा, residential status for one source. अरे, this one is very beautiful. Okay, ma'am, I am in India for 192 days. I'm ready to be resident in India, but only for the rental income in Mumbai. I'm getting salary from Australia. उसको आप मत छेड़ो. Are you getting? I'm talking like a person who knows nothing in income tax. फिर से एक बार. Okay, ma'am, I am in India for 197 days. I am there for more than 182 days. I am resident. I am ready to pay tax in India. Only for my rental income in India. I've got some salary income from royalty. उसको मत देखो. ऐसे नहीं होता. Once you are resident, then all the 5 heads you are resident. Once you are non-resident, all the 5 heads. Okay, there's no strainer to strain it further. I'm again saying last 5 points and the coming points, they are like common sense, which you should know, but it's not कि आ ही जाएगा, इसीलिए इसको पूरा प्रिंट किया, लिख के क्लियर किया. Once you are resident for one source, you are resident for all the sources. Can a person be resident in more than one countries? Yeah, because every country's residential status rules are different. Citizenship versus citizenship or residential status का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Nothing to do with the citizenship. Presence in territorial voters in India is also regarded as stay in India. Super. You are working in oil extraction units which are located in deep waters. ये लेफ्ट साइड क्या आता है? अरेबियन सी आता है, इंडियन ओशन आता है, बॉम्बे साइड. जल्दी बोलो, जीके अच्छा नहीं है मेरा, ज्योग्राफी. गुजरात साइड क्या आता है? हाँ, इंडियन ओशन, अरेबियन सी. ठीक है. तो अरेबियन सी में डीप इन द वाटर्स यू आर वर्किंग इन द extraction. You all know extraction of crude oil is from the seabed. So you are working there and you are saying, मैम कौन इंडिया, क्या इंडिया, मैं तो 400 दिन से यहीं पे रहता हूँ. I'm working, but then you are an employee of Reliance Industries, which is having all their crude oil and all units in Gujarat, but you are in the water. But in the water also till 200 nautical miles, it is India. So if you are working in water also, you can't say कि 182 days and all. Very well, you are said to be in India. Clear? Right? अच्छा, एक और चीज मैं आपको पढ़ाती हूँ, आप ध्यान से सुनो. थोड़ा सा one term, which if you understand now the difference between income received in India and remitted, it will be very clear when I teach you taxability part. Today we are checking resident hai, non-resident hai, RN, ORN. Kal we are clear with this. Okay, let us tax the respective income. So one term is used here which is called as income received in India. Now, what is income received in India? Which is directly received in India from abroad. Suppose my father is a doctor working in USA hospital, and he's saying to hospital, don't give anything to me, send all my hospital fees directly to my daughter Dipti in India. So is the doctor receiving the income in India? Yeah, directly in India. Yeah, that's called as income received in India, taxable. Now I'm twisting. My father is a doctor working abroad. He receives his fees from the hospital in abroad. USA में ही उनको fees मिल रही है. And then from there, he transfers it. He remits it to my Indian account so that we can do all our household and shopping and all other. मतलब हमको रहने खाने के लिए पैसे तो पापा ही भेजाएंगे ना. So he is remitting it to India. Is this remittance taxable directly? No. Whose income this is? Doctor's income. Where he is earning? USA. Where he is receiving? USA. Later on, if it is transferred to India, so many people from India, they work abroad, they stay there for years, 10 साल हो गए उनको abroad जाके. But out of their income, a part they send to India for their family members. Is it taxed again in India? No. So take your time and tell me, income received in India, directly doctor receiving salary in India. You have a plot in London. You're getting rental income in London, then sending in India, not taxable. You're having plot in London, rental income in London. You are receiving rent directly in your Indian bank account in Hyderabad. Taxable है, क्योंकि income कहाँ मिल रही है? इंडिया में. इंडिया में आ गए ना. I'll tell you one basic GK. Of course, this will come in the coming 2-3 classes. Residential status generally goes on for 3 classes. But if you want to learn slower, okay. कोई ऐसा टारगेट नहीं है कि 2 ही दिन में पढ़ाना है, 4 दिन. तो ये आगे आएगा. But one more GK I want to explain. Listen. A person staying in London is having a property in Chennai, which he's selling to a person in Sri Lanka. Story समझ में आ रही है? Who is the seller? London वाला person. Who is the buyer? Sri Lanka ka person. Where is the property? Chennai. Will they have to pay tax on the property sold in India? Yes. Income generated in India, income received in India, income accrued in India. इतने बड़े हाथ हैं, income के 10 हाथ हैं. आ जाओ, आ जाओ, आ जाओ. You all followed or not?
Yes.
और एक जैसे बेसिक और एक जीके. Say Mr. Raj, he's having HUF. HUF is getting income in London. HUF की कोई प्रॉपर्टी है, फिर से लंदन, स्पेन, टर्की, जो कंट्री का नाम लेना है ले लो. तो ना राज को लंदन से इनकम आ रही है. बट हु इज द कर्ता ऑफ दैट HUF? राज. वेयर राज इज स्टेइंग? मुंबई. Where Raj is controlling the HUF from Mumbai. So that HUF income will be taxable. I'm just opening up few more areas. If you get more confused, छोड़ दो इसको. अब ध्यान से सुनो DDLJ की story. शाहरुख खान and Kajal's very famous movie. Amrish Puri was staying, Kajal's father was staying in abroad. Some of you don't watch Hindi movies, so I'm just saying it. Kajal's father was staying abroad, and he was having huge income in London. He was having a departmental store, and every year he was paying tax in London. Though he was born and brought up in Punjab, he's staying where? In London. He's paying tax where? In London. Who is he? Non-resident. Amrish Puri, if you earn income from India, you pay tax. Otherwise, their income, their tax. हमको कोई लेना देना नहीं. Once he decided, I will wind up everything in London and I will wind up and come in India. Those who have seen the movie, they can link up. पूरा लंदन में बंद कर दिए, and then he closed his business and he brought up his capital in India. This is a point where 80% of students do wrong in exam, total income के problem. इसलिए ये case मैं आज भी बता रही हूँ. Tomorrow I'll link up and solve it as a question. So what he did, 10 years, Amrish Puri earned 10 lakhs in London. Paid 10 lakh tax in London. Now, what is his capital? Say 10 lakhs. Tax pay करने के बाद, he sold his departmental store, his house, and he brought all the capital in India. should he pay tax on 10 lakhs in India? Is my question to all of
No,
No.
because it is already
you.
taxed.
One or two are saying no. Others? मैंने पहले भी बोला है, सब मैं कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछूं सबको आंसर देना है. The more you do mistakes in classroom, the super shining you will become in the world outside, be it your internship, be your exam. You will literally call me from your internship कि आपने ये सब examples दिए थे. Shall I repeat? एकदम brief में जल्दी से. So Amrish Puri has earned 10 lakh rupees abroad. He has paid tax on 10 lakh rupees abroad, and now he's closing his all and he's getting his capital and he wants to permanently settle in Punjab. तो सब बंद बंद करके इंडिया आ गए 10 लाख रुपए लेके. Now on 10 lakhs again, is he required to pay tax in India? Yes or no?
No.
No. Why?
It was already taxed.
It's already taxed abroad. It's just the transfer of the capital. Amrish Puri has not earned this income in Punjab. And second thing, this is not income received in India. This is income via remitted in India. So, आप लोगों में से कुछ लोगों को लग रहा होगा मैम कितना ज्यादा डिटेल में बता रहे हैं. कल जब प्रॉब्लम करेंगे ना, you will do it easily and you ask your friends. They will say, this is the only part where they do mistake. My years of paper correction experience, remittance में ही गड़बड़ करते हैं. ये पढ़ो 10th point. Any income already taxed on accrual basis or receipt basis abroad outside India. Consequently, it is brought in India. It is not chargeable to tax at the time of remittance, irrespective of the residential status. Any income already taxed abroad, outside, accrual basis, receipt basis, outside India, consequently remitted to India, is not chargeable to tax at the time of remittance, irrespective of the residential status. Super. I want all of you to write. अरे लिखना क्या है, मैंने प्रिंट ही कर दिया. 11th point. Past untaxed profit brought to India is profit which is earned abroad, tax paid there, and then capital transferred. It is not taxable. इसको इतना मार्क करो. पहले की मेरी बुक देखोगे ना लास्ट ईयर की, तो 10 points थे. But when I checked कि students are doing mistake in this 11 point, I said let us print it. Past untaxed profit brought to India, not taxable. ठीक है. So we have done till here. We'll continue with all this tomorrow. Some questions I feel. Just the computation of residential status I want all of you to do as homework. 10th question is homework for all of you. Already a past exam question. Brett Lee, if I'm pronouncing it correctly or not, sorry. Australian cricketer. हर साल इंडिया आता है, 100 दिन खेलता है, चले जाता है. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. दिस इज अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल टॉपिक. डोंट चेक द आंसर, यू डू इट, यू चेक इट, यू डू इट. अच्छे से करो. 11th क्वेश्चन बस. HUF से हम कल आगे करेंगे. So these two questions are homework for you. Whatever booster notes you have written in red color, read it for 5-10 minutes like a prayer and then do two homeworks. I feel two homework should not take more than 15 minutes with stopwatch. मैम हम होमवर्क कर लेंगे वही बस है. ये रोज stopwatch क्या है? Stopwatch is giving the alert sign to your subconscious mind that you have to complete. It's not having good knowledge, it's having good and timely knowledge. How many of you see KBC's initial na, where they come on the hot seat? Just put this in the ACBD. ACBD sabhi correct karte hain काफी बार तो, but then it's the difference in the fractions. So this is the mindset. If we build up now till May 25, you will be crystal clear ki 3 hours paper with correct knowledge, with good speed you will complete, right? That's all for today. और एक और चीज करना है, because the basic conditions were very easy, reading once is okay, but because 120 days वाला थोड़ा tricky था ना, 120 days वाला, तो read it, if required write it. Okay, so until now everything is clear. Just 2 minutes more deemed resident we will do, and then we will close the class. Listen to this last concept of deemed resident. You know, in Hindi there's wording भी जैसे जिसका कोई नहीं है उसका खुदा है, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना. तो when someone is not having parent, we say all are their guardians. Like that, the concept of deemed resident is, oh, you are earning more than 15 lakhs in India. Oh, you are not paying tax anywhere abroad. 15 lakhs is zyada you are earning in India, but you are not paying tax in any other countries. Maybe you are in tax haven country जहाँ पे tax ही नहीं है, छुट्टी है. But in India, how much you are earning? More than 15 lakhs. But you are not paying any tax in India because you have stayed in India for 10 days, 15 days. Then don't worry. You are said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. And you are said to be deemed resident. We will take care of you. You are deemed resident in India. Most welcome. Come and pay tax as R and OR. Resident but not ordinary resident. अब मैम ये क्या बताया नहीं समझा, और कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो, तो हो जाओ और आ जाओ नोटबुक में. टीम रेसिडेंट को ऑलरेडी तारे सितारे खिलाए या नहीं? 5 स्टार किटकैट सब खिला दो. कहाँ थे हम? Yeah, here I am. An individual being Indian citizen, not an Indian origin, Indian citizen, having total income other than income from foreign sources exceeding 15 lakhs, he would be deemed to resident in India if he's, underline this, not liable to pay tax in any other country. You're not paying tax in any other country, and you are having total income more than 15 lakhs, and you are an Indian citizen. Forget 60 days, 120 days, 181 days, sab jane do. Okay. This provision will not be applicable if you are checking residential status routine. 182 days and more, to routine. 120 days and more, then that one. But suppose if you are in India only for 4 days, but you are Indian citizen, earning more than 15 lakhs, then you are said to be deemed resident under section 6, clause 1A. You are resident but not ordinary resident. No need to check the additional conditions. एक क्वेश्चन करते हैं तो ये क्लियर होगा. Tarak is Indian citizen. He is employed in Rangoon. During the previous year, he visited India only for 41 days. So we will not go in that jol of 120 days. ठीक है? Tarak is not paying any tax in Rangoon. See, if you are paying tax in other countries, no problem. But you are not paying tax in any other country. ये वाला point सबसे important है. And your total income in India is 25 lakhs. He is in India for 41 days. He is not satisfying the first basic condition. But he is Indian citizen. His total income in India is more than 15 lakhs. And he is not paying tax anywhere abroad. You are said to be resident but not ordinary resident. Suppose if your total income is 10 lakhs. No, this provision is not applicable. Not applicable. कितने दिन थे इंडिया में? 45 days. Total income कितना है? As if I'm checking some reports like doctors check. ये देखो. How many days you were in India? 45 days. What's your total income? 10 lakh. Are you paying tax abroad? No. But still you are a non-resident. Because for resident and ordinary resident, total income in India above 15 lakhs. And you should not pay tax anywhere. No one is taking care of you. No one is asking you to pay tax. And you are earning more than 15 lakhs in India. Aa jao. We will take care of you. You are deemed resident pay the tax in. I feel you have followed, but you need time to absorb. Now you ask your doubt for deemed resident. Deemed resident समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. अच्छा, take a pause and listen here. I like to go एकदम in depth. तो मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछती हूँ. 120 days वाला जो था, वो झोल जो था, वो और deemed residence में difference is clear. Here also total income above 15 lakhs. Here also total income above 15 lakhs. Here stay above 120 days. Here stay is immaterial. एक दिन भी no problem. Here you may be paying tax abroad and all, but here you are staying for more than 120 days. Total income more than 15 lakhs. Aajo. Here you have just stayed 45 days. Total income more than, but condition, you should not pay tax anywhere in the world. We will take care. You are deemed resident of India under section 6 clause 1a. Pay the tax in India. How you will pay the tax? As a resident and ordinary resident? No. Resident but not ordinary resident. That's all for today's class. If some of you feel it's little overdose and all, message me. We all are connected in group. I will see to it that isko or simplify kar rahe. But two mandatory things you should do. You know, whenever you have to catch a flight or you travel or put an alarm for exam, you wake up before the alarm. किसी के साथ ऐसे हुआ है? हाथ उठाओ. I can see you all. Anyone? Yeah, it has happened that okay, together all inter students with the other teachers, law teacher sir के साथ हम लोग सब ना गोवा जा रहे हैं. एग्जाम हो गए, पास हो गए, फाइनल में चले गए, 2 साल इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हो. दीप्ति मैम हम गोवा ट्रिप जाएंगे. ठीक है, चलो. The flight is morning 6 o'clock. You have to be at the airport 4 o'clock. You put an alarm 2 o'clock. सोओगे ही नहीं. सो जाओगे ना तो 2:45 उठ के खुद ही अलार्म बंद करोगे. This is taught to me by my teachers, that any explanation of any teacher, not Dipti ma'am's, any explanation is there in your subconscious mind for 24 hours. रात में एक मूवी देख के सो जाओ, दोबारा देख लो, फिर सुबह उठो तो अरे वो ये था, ये जन्म में वो, you know, the songs, the dance, the dialogues, the story, whatever you like best, that goes on in your mind till 24 hours. Same way Deepti ma'am's examples are going in your mind. So make sure in 24 hours you revise your notebook and you do the homework. Many students, they are very regular in attending classes. But ये मेरी बुक बंद हुई और ये कल सुबह खुलेगी दीप्ति मैम के साथ. Then you know, you are like, you are just 5 kilometers away to the summit और आपने छोड़ दिया. 495 kilometers आ गए और 5 kilometer में आपकी बाजी गई. So this request to all of you, do these two things. Read the booster notes and do the homework, and I'll meet you all tomorrow. Okay? Promise?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. See you all tomorrow. Bye.